S.T.R Player Magazine.
S.T.R Player Magazine.
S.T.R Player Magazine.
Some say I'm the greatest, some say I'm the fakest, some say I'm...
Yo, this is Cross with 80 Generations live with Whitney Peyton. We're about to get live. What's cracking, Whitney?
Not much, man. It's been crazy. I don't know what city I'm in. I don't know what day it is.
We're in Denver today.
Denver,
Downtown
Colorado.
Denver.
Yeah, I love Denver, man. I've been here through a few times, and I like it.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna jump in. S.T.R Player Magazine. Make sure you check out her page and brand new song. It's all good. If you haven't heard it when it ran through, we're actually gonna play it again at the end of this. So stay tuned. How has this tour been, and what do you really feel that this tour really means for your career?
I mean, every tour means so much for my career because I really like it because on Facebook and social media and things like that, you can see the build-up happening, but it's so different when you actually see them in person and they're like, hey, I'm so-and-so from like Instagram and I'm always commenting on your shit, and you're like, oh yes, okay, you're a real person, you know. It's like really hard to actually comprehend that these people are real, like you have fans in real life until you actually see them in person. And I know Fronzilla is from the band Attila, and he's more in the Warped Tour scene, and I'm definitely more so in the hip-hop scene, so it's different. Like when I announced it, a lot of my fans were like, well, that's definitely kind of like a weird lineup, that's different for you, but that's what I love to do. Like I've toured with so many different kinds of acts, so it just really helps me cross-promote. It introduces me to a different kind of fan base that maybe wouldn't have known about me before. And yeah, every night I'm going on stage and I'm saying, who's heard about me, and you know, who am I new to? And like it's about 50-50, like about 50% like raise their hand like they've seen me before, and like 50% totally like had never heard of me before. So it's doing wonders right now.
Awesome. You get new fans, you know, you connect with new fans, and that's extremely important. Your new album, I saw online, I've gotten a couple of feedback that you're working on your new album too, that's coming out. Then you had a new album that came out.
Well, yeah, this year, I mean, this year so far, in March, I released a 5-track EP called Fear of Falling, and that was just like a free EP, and what I really consider that is an appetizer for this album coming out, because it was free, it was only 5 tracks. The album I have coming out in December, Break the Frame, is going to be a full album. Gotcha. And that one's going to be for sale. And yeah, so that was the appetizer to the entree later this year.
So how will this album differ from what we've normally heard from you?
Well, I mean, in 2014, that was my first debut album I ever put out. It was called On the Brink. I had released music prior to that, but that was all like free EPs and free downloads, because I knew from the beginning of my career I just wanted to release things for free for the fans to start to get to know me, because I was new. So I was like, why should they buy something? They don't know me, they don't know who I am yet. So I gave them a bunch of free stuff first, right out of the gate, and then once I started like polishing my craft a little more, getting better at rapping, just improving my skill, then I finally released last year for the first time something for sale. So it's crazy to think about, because a lot of people are like, oh, I've heard about you for a couple of years now, like, but really my debut album was last year. I hadn't dropped a full-length album until then. So it's you know, it was like kind of a slow process as far as dropping something for sale on iTunes, but I just really didn't want to do it until I thought that I had the buzz built up to be able to do it. So it's going to be different because, you know, I just think I get better and better. I think that's something that every artist should strive for, that everyone is better from the last one. And there's a lot of versatility on this album. Like, you're not going to see as many collabs as you would think. Like, I'm not using that to try to be like, yeah, I have this cosign, like, look how cool I am. Yeah, I don't feel as if I need that to prove myself as an artist. I mean, you're definitely going to see a lot of cool, there's going to be a couple cool features, but I'm not relying on that. It's going to be a majority of just, you know, me on the record, because a lot of times I think that's what fans want anyway. I release things and I'll have like the biggest features ever on it, and it'll be like really big artists. I'm like, these artists, you know, are legends. And then I'll be like, what was your favorite track on the record? And they'll end up naming a track that is just a solo track. So it's like, you know, I might as well just kind of tell my story and just have a couple features here and there that really fit. So that's how I'm doing it.
Awesome. And you heard it from Whitney, man. Like, you gotta get better. Like, I don't know what hell you guys are doing. Like, I've seen this girl rock the stage and just kill it. I love her concert. She's always swimming on top of weird shit. There's some lights, going on. Like, it's just some weird, crazy shit going on all the fucking time. Like, she keeps you into the show. And it's real. Like, you do. You gotta work on your craft. You gotta work on your art. And I'm saying, like, she's only, like, I think 5'2" or something. This girl's killing y'all, bro. So, I don't know.
And I don't even look at other artists and, like, I'm trying to be better than them. Like, I watch back my videos and stuff and I'm like, oh, I should have done this or I could have done this better. So every time I'm trying to beat myself, like, I'm really just trying to, like, make a video and be like, yep, that just killed my last video. Like, that's just the constant struggle with it.
What do you think has changed in your career from when you started until now?
Oh my god, so much. I mean, when I first started when I first came out, like the MySpace days, like I've been around since then. I am young, but I started young, like back in my early teens and stuff. But I really, at that point, being a female, there weren't a whole lot of other chicks in the game, especially white girls. And I'm not using that as a card, like I'm pulling out like my female, I'm a girl and this and that, woe is me. It just was more, you had to be more sexual, I feel like. So I wasn't rapping about risque things, but I definitely was trying to be way more feminine and girly and just like a little more made up and a little less punk rock. Like now I think I'm just embracing kind of more of a rocker kind of image, and I perform like that too. And just at the beginning I was wearing like heels on stage, and if you can imagine that. Now I'm like that kind of like tomboy, like punky Brewster Jones Jetta hip hop, and that's what I embraced. But when I first came out, I thought I had to totally be like Lil' Kim or something, because
that's what was hyped then.
Yeah, and I wasn't to that degree, but I definitely was a little trying to like be overly feminine and be over the top with like, oh, they gotta think I'm like good looking or else I'm not gonna make it. Now I just do not give a damn. Like now I'm just like, you like my music or not? Like I don't care if you like how my hair is and stuff, because you won't believe in the underground, like people act like it's all about music. Screw the mainstream because they're all shallow and they're about image and we're about music. But I've had a lot of things because I've had people comment on videos when I had shorter hair and this. I'm like, I hate her hair short. I'm gonna stop listening to her. It's like, what the heck?
She's like,
my haircut.
Listen to the song.
Yeah, because my haircut, like grown ass men saying because of my haircut they're not gonna listen to my music. I'm like, I didn't even know guys noticed like my makeup and my haircut and my eyeshadow color. Yeah, so I mean,
with your character, man, like I'm like, she changed her hair. I gotta go back.
She got tattoos now.
Right. It's an image game. It definitely is all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think that I haven't changed too much, not unrecognizable, but just like anyone else in their life, whether they're artists or not, your looks probably change. Like anyone just with a regular cubicle job, they could probably go back in pictures of themselves from a couple years ago and they could probably change something.
Again, it goes back to that you having to grow. As an artist, like you got to grow in how you are, your personality, what you do. Like, this is me now.
Yeah, and if I decide to cut my hair, don't cry about it on YouTube. It's okay. It'll be all right.
We won't cry. We got you. I got your back, man. Who do you feel has really inspired you the most to stay on this motion?
I mean, when I first started, like before I was rapping, I was doing spoken word, and then I got inspired to really rap by seeing like the ladies of TLC and seeing like Missy Elliott and Eve, who's from Philly, by the way, so shout out to her. But seeing those girls, that really made me want to rap. And then I didn't know about the entire underground at that point because I was just seeing, I was a kid, so I was just seeing what was being put in front of me on TV. And then when I started getting involved in music and actually going out to the venues and different stuff, I started finding the Tech Nines. I started finding Machine Gun Kelly. I started finding all these artists who have independent movements, and they're like powerhouses of the underground, and they're doing just as well as the mainstream artists financially, and fan wise and everything like that. So. I was like, they really have set the bar, and anyone would want to make a business model going after those guys because
that's the blueprint.
Yeah, it is. They've really figured it out, and so I mean, there's a million right ways to do things. Like you don't always have to take the exact same route someone else did. There's a million wrong ways to do it too. So. Right. We've probably found out a bunch of the wrong ways as well.
I've done some wrong ways.
Yeah, definitely.
You get a couple years of that.
Oh, for sure.
how did the new song, how did It's All Good come about, and what inspired? Anything particular inspired the track?
Well, I was like, I had written on the Brink. There's a lot more kind of like aggressive and angry songs, and I was like, you know what? I gotta make some sort of like feel good song and spread feel good vibes, because I was like, the things that happen to us, I could write these emotional and angry songs about it, or we could flip it and be like, you know what? You can say whatever you want to say about us, and you can do this or that, but it's all good because I'm still doing my thing. I'm still really active. I'm touring. I'm doing all this stuff. So it just, no matter what happens to us, it's all good, kind of thing. So
okay.
Yeah. So I wrote that song. I wrote the hook. I went into the studio. I recorded the hook, me singing it first, and then I had a singer who just far surpasses myself, my singing abilities, come in, and I was like, dude, his name Sounds, and he's a really good like R&B voice, and I was like, and I played him the track, and I played him what I sang for the hook, which were those lyrics and everything, and I was like, can you redo this hook just way better than me, like sing these words and everything, keep the melody, but just like execute it way better than me? And he was like, yeah, I got you, I can do it. So he recorded over my vocals, then we took my vocals out of the hook, and it's him in there. And we just recorded a music video for it, actually. So I've been editing it and messing around with it while we've been on tour.
Gotcha.
So it should really be coming out anytime now.
Gotcha. So keep an eye out for that too. At the end of this, we're gonna have the song play, but we may have the video linked to this eventually. So definitely stay tuned, man. What are your goals? What do you really feel is the limit, and how far do you want to reach?
Man, if you would have asked me like 5 years ago, what are your goals? I'd be like, I want to be signed to a major label, $1 million record deal. But I mean, it kind of changes as the music industry changes, because you have to kind of go with the flow and go with it. My goals really are to continue touring. I kind of look at, I look at the long run, but things change as we go. So for the immediate future, it's to, when I get home, I'm going to finish this record. I'm going to put out the record. Hopefully I'll be doing some more touring on that album, my own solo album, because over the summer I did some headlining spot dates, and they went incredibly well. Yeah. And I hadn't really explored doing any kind of headlining tour. I've never done a national headlining tour yet. Gotcha. So in the future, I'd really like to have a headlining national tour. You see me now with all these other artists and stuff. I'd like to go out on my own. And maybe even before that, I'd like to go overseas. That's the thing. And we've been exploring it, and it looks like it's probably a big possibility for 2016. So
congratulations.
Thank you. So that's probably gonna be the thing. Overseas 2016. I need to get to Japan. I need to get to Europe. That's my goal.
Ohayou gozaimasu, all my Japanese fam, juggalos. Get over there. Yeah. We got it.
They're everywhere.
Like everywhere. We got family in Japan, so we're good. What do you feel your message is to the fans, and what do you really want the supporters and everybody else to know about who you are and what your music stands for?
I represent, I don't know if you guys heard, like, a movement that I have called Team Underdog. I'm always hashtagging it, shouting it out, and people are kind of like, what is that? Is that your label? Is that a production company? What is that? And it's none of the above. It's actually just a movement. It's kind of like how Machine Gun Kelly says EST or Lace Up or whatever. Like, that's my thing. I call it the Underdogs, because you guys see all of my successes online. You see, like, any accolades I get. You see, when we're in front of big crowds. But you don't see, like, when doors are slammed in our face. Like, we're not posting about that every day. Like, I just got turned down from another festival today. I just got turned down. Because that would just be no fun to be posting that kind of stuff. So, for every yes I've gotten, like 20 no's. So it's tough being an indie artist. So I definitely represent the underdog movement, and it's not just for other artists, it's for people in their everyday lives who feel like underdogs. Like, I've had people come up to me and they're like, I really just feel like an underdog in my office. Like, I always get snubbed. Like, I never get the praise, and the other person always gets the promotion, and I never get it. So, people can really, I think, relate to that in so many aspects of their life, no matter what they do. And so, we've just been doing that. I've had label offers and things like that. Nothing that has been the best for me, because it's like a marriage. If you're going to sign to a label, it's like a marriage, and it's really easy to say I do, and it's not easy to get out of it once you sign the paper, just like a divorce or something. So that's what I'm representing. My message to the fans really is, don't wait to be discovered by anyone. Discover yourself, and no matter what you're doing, what you're trying to do, don't wait for someone to come help you. Like, oh, I can't do it because I need this, or I don't have the money, or I need someone to come help me do it. It's like with the internet and being able to Google how to do things yourself, and being able to just teach yourself things nowadays. It's kind of like if you want it, you'll figure it out. Because I mean, a lot of fans don't know a ton of my graphics and stuff I do. Like a ton of my flyers that you see, a ton of my merch designs that you see. I'm sitting there designing that stuff, and I'm actually doing that in Photoshop, and and of course I write my stuff. A lot of times I try to, I'm sitting there storyboarding my music videos. I direct a lot of my own music videos. Yeah, same. So I mean, I have videographers and stuff, but I'm directing it, and I'm storyboarding it, and a lot of times helping edit it. I completely get everything together. All the actors you see in it, I got. A lot of times, if I have singers on my record, I wrote their part, and different things like that. So it's like there's more involved than just being the artist. You have to be the artist, your director. You have to be your graphics person. You have to be your merch person. You have to be so. I mean, just figure out a way to be kind of a jack of all trades.
Right. Rock on.
That's the advice.
This is Cross Rivera, Whitney Peyton, Team Underdog, S.T.R Player Magazine, 80 Generations. Man, we go live. Stay tuned. Listen to the song. It's all good. Shit's going down. Look out for the new video. Catch her on tour while she's still on tour, and check out the brand new album. That shit's gonna be super fire.
Break the Frame.
If you haven't seen it, there you go. Break the Frame in December. See you in December. Holla.
P.
Oh, they don't know just what you're going through. Get up when they shake you. Yeah, don't let nobody break you.
Some say I'm the greatest, some say I'm the fakest. Some saying I'm underground and some saying I made it. I'm highly motivated, so let me demonstrate it. I've been gifted since the womb, I'm just angry that I waited to show y'all I rock a different image so you're thrown off. I'm not shaking my ass, but my words will knock your dome off. My mama told me not to ever run my mouth, but my mouth is making money, let the motherfucker go off. You're not better cause you got a better publicist. What's the point of making music if you're not in love with it? That's about as dumb as putting trust into a government. That's about as dumb as you still living at your mama's crib. Keep your day job while you still hating. It's kinda funny, hip-hop's my only occupation. I'm often misbehaving, don't fit the stipulations. That's the reason that my shit is never getting placement.
Oh, they don't know just what you're going through. Get up when they shake you. Yeah, don't let nobody break you. It's all good. I'll risk it all. I got nothing to lose. You can try to send back vibes, but I'm gon' live my life. It's all
I'm grabbing life by the gonads, oh crap. It's all good, but you already know that. Riding in an Uber car, no stretch. Decapitating rappers on tour, roadhead. I'll stay awake for those sleeping on me, no rest. A lot of people ain't fucking with me, no sex. They never threw me a bone, I had to go fetch. You trying to flex on me, can't do it, no reps. Ha, so what you gonna do? I used to dream about it, now it's coming true. When there's a million copies, but only one of you, you gotta take it to the booth and tell them coming through. Excuse me, my inner circle is the winner circle. Seeing too many spitting like they skip rehearsal. Hey, I came from the burbs, now I'm universal. So don't ever get me twisted, man, purple nurple.
Oh, they don't know just what you're going through. Get up when they shake you. Yeah, don't let nobody break you. It's all good. I'll risk it all. I got nothing to lose. You can try to send bad vibes, but I'm gon' live my life. It's all
I jumped a lot of hurdles, took a lot of L's, but my name starts with W, so critics, you can learn to spell. I bet they wishing I threw in the towel, but before I leave the game, best believe I'ma burn it down.
You best believe I will. I'ma burn it down, I will. Oh, yeah.
Before I leave the game, best believe I'ma burn it down.
Cause they don't know why. Oh, they don't know just what you're going through. Get up when they shake you. Yeah, don't let nobody break you. It's all good. I'll risk it all. I got nothing to lose. You can try to send bad vibes, but I'm gon' live my life. It's all good.
Before I leave the game, best believe I'ma burn it down.